Hello there. This is Sherry coming to you live from Salt Spring Island. We are in the Pacific Ocean here, Salt Spring Island in British Columbia. And it was really sunny today, but the clouds have come. And our weather looks pretty good for the day. I'm hoping everything is a-okay where everyone else is. And I wanted to pop on and talk to you about the Solar Plexus Chakra. So my name is Sherry Simpson. I do Akashic record readings where I connect into people at a soul level and do some healing and clear some old stuff from the past and bring forward messages from your guides and angels and my guides and angels and the Akashic records in general. And I also do transformational life coaching. So often after people have gotten Akashic record readings, then the records need to be cleared. Things come up kind of on onion levels and layers. So things need to be cleared like over time more quickly at the beginning, and then after that usually I can teach people how to clear their own and how to connect in with their intuition. So that's what I do. I want to pop in today and talk about the Solar Plexus Chakra. So we've already talked about the root. The root is the one that's at the base of the spine that faces down, and that's about your groundedness and connectedness and your physicality in your actual world. The second one that we talked about was the sacral chakra, which is your womb, which is where your creativity and all of your ability to build and connect and build relationships with the people closest to you sit. And that can connect with a woman's cycle. It can connect with men also being able to create babies as well. It's in that same area. And as we move up now, hi Pavlina, good to see you, honey. As we move up into the third chakra, it is more about confidence. It's more about moving forward from a place of personal power. It's more about leading and not necessarily lead. Hey, Tatum, good to see you, honey. It's not necessarily about leading other people, but standing into your own confidence and being able to lead the life that you want. So if you think about a kid who is growing and how we actually start evolving through this, then a lot of times it's at that age where kids are going to school and they're learning to have relationships not just with mom and dad, but with other friends. And we're learning, like as kids, in order to interact with people in a greater circle. And to more step into like, who am I? You know, what do I want to wear? And like, how do I want to present myself? And how confident am I? And so that's what the solar plexus is about. So many people who have issues with authority, so say as a kid, like myself, I had this weird incident that I don't necessarily remember, but one of my coaches actually pulled it out of my Akashic record for me, where I had a teacher when I was like around 5 who actually said, no, that's not good, you're doing this wrong, go back and do it again. And it was as though like she knocked me down in my personal power that young. And because when we're between the ages of 3 and 7, we're actually creating how we see the world, then I felt like perfection at that time, or from that time forward, actually had to be within everything I did. And so I think I've probably feared authority in some ways since then. I used to fear getting pulled over by police officers and going across the U.S. border and things like that. And I think it stems back from that incident that I was subconsciously programmed that authority isn't good. I actually had one other experience too. I remember being in kindergarten when the bus driver, who was also the janitor, ended up letting me out. And back then we did kindergarten every day, and I think I was in the morning because my mom was actually picking me up, and I don't think any of my other siblings were home. Which is kind of funny because I'm a night owl, so I would have been much better as an afternoon kindergarten kid versus a morning one. But I remember the bus driver opening up the door, and so I just ran out and ran across the street. And so I actually had to run not just out the door in order to get home, but across the street. And because he had opened up the door, I just left. And he actually told my mom at some point, and I got in trouble for running across the street and not waiting for him. So even an incident like that, I remember, and that was about like a fear of authority because I actually got in trouble for doing something that little. So the whole solar plexus area can actually be about instances that we've created so far back that we don't even remember them. And what we need to do as adults is kind of clear out those things and realize that we can be in our own authority, and that we can move into our own personal power, and we can, it ties into our throat for sure, we can expand and step into speaking our truth and being more authentic and not going with the crowd, but doing what serves us rather than staying under. I always thought of myself as staying underneath the radar for years, where I just, I wouldn't speed and I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that because I was always thinking I'll stay under the radar, or I'll stay under the radar. But one of the things that happened or spurred for me was that I ended up becoming an uber people pleaser. And I always saw myself as though I was living in the basement and the rest of the world was actually living above me. So it took me having the autoimmune condition and having to heal it to realize that I should be at the level of everyone else and I shouldn't be looking up to the rest of the planet. So if you have issues with that solar plexus, it also affects digestion. So I have issues with gluten, and I tended as a kid, and of course it all ties in now, but it didn't make sense then. I tended to have a kid to have really slow bowels, and I was actually in the hospital for a week and home from school for almost a month when I was probably in, I don't know, maybe grade 2 or maybe grade 4. And I'm sure it all ties into that whole fear of authority and staying underneath the radar and not digesting things properly and not being able to stand up in my own personal power. And I don't think I was ever bullied, but that would be at that time or that age when bullying came into habits, and bullying you would attract if you felt like you weren't strong enough and powerful enough. And so you definitely want to instill in your children and to instill in the people around you and within yourself that you are powerful and that you are confident and that you are capable, and that if you're living in a place where you're looking up to everyone else and you're not at that same level, that you actually allow yourself to pull yourself up to that same level, because you are the same as Oprah. You are the same as, I always use the expression as Trump, because it doesn't matter if we feel like we're less than or more than, because you can have an overactive sense of power as well. That really we need to stand into a place that we are all the same. Yes, we're all unique, we're all different, but we're all equally as powerful, and we can all be equally as confident, and we're basically equal, and we lead ourselves and we lead our own lives. Which brings me to a point I mentioned to someone else this morning. We tend to, and even with massage clients, coming across people who want to find their solutions and their answers always without themselves, or outside of themselves. But actually, we are the powerhouse. So the God source and the universe source and the highest self is within us. So we actually have the capacity and the capability. We don't need to be fixed. We actually fix and heal ourselves because we are the God source. And so we are connected to everyone else. So if someone else can do it, then I can do it too. So stepping into that place of personal power and confidence that you are capable, you are confident, you are everything. And allowing that to be your nature. So if you're not there, if you're not in that place of confidence and power and strength, then you can do many things. You can picture the clear ball with yellow light within it the same way that I was teaching with some of the other chakras. You can wear yellow. You can eat yellow food. You can carry yellow stones with you. You can literally start speaking your truth and start moving into, okay, what am I doing now that is people pleasing? Or what am I doing now that's not setting boundaries? What am I doing now that's not allowing me to be in my confidence and to be in authority? And how can I release my own fears? So stepping into that place of I have the capacity and I have the capability. I don't know what's going on with the dogs outside, but something's going on, so I'm going to pop off here soon. but literally stepping into, I am confident, I am a powerful being, I can create my reality, I can create the life of my dreams. And then stepping into that place of open allowing, where you're like, okay, I know that I can, so how can I? And allowing that information to flow in, allowing yourself to digest things in a different way through your body that allows you to release what's not serving you with ease, and to allow yourself to bring in what it is that you need. So if you're getting inspired actions, then to take them. And if you're getting information that your gut is saying, oh, don't do that, then don't. And if you're getting inspiration that says, just do that, then do it. So just listening to the guidance and being who you want to be, rather than allowing yourself to be pinballed around by other people and other circumstances and other beings, because you are powerful. You are capable, you are confident, you can step into that power at any time. You just need to allow yourself to do it. So that is what that solar plexus area is all about. So often people who have issues with their throat or issues with their digestion need that one to be cleared. So I can connect in with people and do a quick clearing with people through all the chakras and let you know which one you lead with. So I do have that offering in my store. And I do have a bigger Akashic record and intuitive guidance and medical intuition readings that I do for people. They're $199, but they are like very transformative. People shift in ways that they don't expect and they don't really understand, because you're shifting on all levels. You're shifting on that physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. You're releasing things and digesting things through that area especially, but through all of the chakra system and all of the energy bodies that you don't necessarily realize need to be shifted. But as soon as the energy gets cleared, you're like, oh wow, I had no idea I was carrying around all that crap. Which makes me picture that like pack mule that's carrying around other people's stuff and my own stuff. And once you realize you can just take the stuff off, that the donkey doesn't need to carry all that stuff, that you don't need to be the donkey anymore, then things can be easy and they can be joyful and they can be confident and they can be playful and they can be powerful and they can be empowering. So if you're interested in any of my services, or if you're interested in learning more, then message me, because those are definitely available and they can actually be really valuable and happen really quickly for people. So if you have any comments or questions on the chakras, on the chakra system, on how you clear things, on how you've cleared things, if it's separate or different than how I've explained, then let me know. Tomorrow we talk about the heart, because today's the third, so we're talking about the third chakra. Tomorrow is the heart, so we're talking about giving and receiving in balance. We're connecting in the arms, and we'll connect in the green and the pink. So have a beautiful day wherever you are. Namaste.